Hello everyone and welcome back on the second video on the MLM marketing. In this video, I am going to continue on talking about multi-level marketing and we're going to be discussing their structure. Now, before we do, please make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel, follow us on Instagram and on all platforms, and comment and let us know if we missed something, and if you want us to share for something in the insurance industry, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to create a video for you. Now, with that said, let's get into it. Now, we want to talk about, just like we talked about what multi-level marketing is, let's discuss as far as what their structure, right? What is their structure and who these companies are? As we mentioned, there was 3 of them that we're going to be discussing in this video series, and they are WFG, there's PHP, and Prime America. Now, let's look into these companies a little bit. I'm going to start with the youngest one of all, which is technically newer in the business. It was created in 2009, and it was founded by Patrick Bet-David, right? And we all know who that person is. Now, and it was created, and this is very similar to WFG because Patrick used to be a high performer in WFG, and then he left WFG because of certain technicalities and certain issues he had at WFG, as most of the people that leave that have the same issues. And they basically, Patrick Bet-David basically created a similar concept, similar theories, similar structure, almost similar system, a little bit of tweaking here and there, but their main concept is the same: insurance, recruiting, and multi-level marketing. So that's those 3 things go identical to the same as WFG. Now, WFG came in about, they used to be in the business in 1999 to 1998 and earlier than that, but then it was called World Marketing Alliance. Then they changed hands and then they changed their name because they were purchased by Aegon, and they became World Financial Group Securities, and so on and so forth. And Aegon just took over the operations. Then afterwards, Transamerica purchased Aegon, so now they are under the umbrella of Transamerica. Of course, they don't just solely sell Transamerica products. They have options to sell other products as well. But Transamerica owns Aegon, so therefore automatically that transferred into Transamerica's book of business. The last one, which is Prime America, is the oldest one out of them because I think a lot of the concepts are taken from Prime America. It was created in 1977, and of course they're the only ones that are publicly traded company, and we have a little bit of more information therefore on them because they have to report certain things. The other 2 are private companies. They're not public companies or traded companies. So therefore, we don't have a lot of information to share from them. And the only reason I can share a lot of the WFG things is because I used to be in that group from 2000 to 2007. Now, they might have changed, but I don't think so. It's amazing that they still do the same thing after 20 years plus, because they have a system. They follow the system to the T, and that's how they do their business. Now, all of them have insurance, right? They're all about insurance. For example, let's say PHP and WFG, like I said, they're very similar, and they sell the same type of thing. They mostly focus on IULs. They only focus on IULs. And a lot of times, when I was in that business and I was doing WFG, first we used to have variable contracts. Then Index Universal Life came about. And then all of a sudden, everyone's licenses switched over to life only because we didn't need the 6 and 63. Because a lot of times people used to come in, and it's insane. You used to have your life license and you still couldn't sell life insurance because they didn't sell term insurance. I sold almost 0 term insurance in that business because their focus was IULs, because there were more money into the IULs. And of course, if you sold term insurance, and you can make the same amount of money because it's just based on premiums, right? So it doesn't really matter as far as if it's high premium term, but technically term insurances are lower premiums. Now, and Prime America, and I kind of went or still is doing the same thing because they never touched any business other than term insurance. Their concept is term insurance, invest the rest, right? So their concept has been this forever. And I have people that are in the business and they swear by this, right? They say, you know what, our goal is, because there's other products a little bit more expensive, people, if they invest in mutual funds, and all these things that they preach, right? But a lot of times when you have separation of money, a lot of times, they forget to say that they only sell term, and most of the time there is no investing, the difference, because a lot of people will not invest. Most people don't have money. If they were doing a great job and all this recruits, and I'll tell you the numbers that they recruited, this country would have been financially independent of itself, right? And everybody would have had 50,000 savings, but now we only have 1,000 or 500, and some people don't even, I think 85% don't even have $500 saved for emergencies, right? So if they were doing a great job, this numbers would have been amazing. Amount of people they've sit down and the amount of people they recruited in the years since 1977. They have other products. They have investments. They have debt solution. They have mortgages and so on and so forth. Different things that they do in the same context to make a little bit more money for their agents. Now, how many is in their structure, and the way they're structured is, yes, they sell life insurance products, but the structure itself doesn't allow you to focus on sales most of the time. It focuses on you recruiting people, because they say, hey, you can sell and you can make $1,000 today, but if you're recruiting, you're building, and then tomorrow you'll make $3,000. So with your group of people. So their recruiting is number one. Because once they come in, they want to recruit as many people. Their goal, and tell me if I'm wrong, maybe our team was like that, or if maybe WFG was like that, but I can guarantee you every one of them is the same way. When a person is interested in joining, or if they joined, once they joined, their mission, their goal as far as MDs or as far as their uplines is to milk this person as fast as they can. Okay? Because if they don't, they have nothing. They want to make sure if this guy is not serious, if they're going to go quit or they're going to leave, then they get most of it out of it. And what happens is they come in, and once you sit down with them, they do the top 10, your war markets. Hey, let's go for a training. Let's go see your uncle. Let's go see your mom. Let's go see your dad. Let's go see this. This is solely a training. So before you get licensed, you want to make sure this is for you. And by the time you get your licenses, you are trained to do sales. But guess what? That person sitting next to them is not getting anything, because they do the sales process and they get the sales. And most of the time say, we don't have to sell. This is your training. But the guy is there to sell you something. He's going to sell your family. And a lot of times, the reason why a lot of people don't succeed in this business, because not only they recruit people that are not insurance savvy, they're not business savvy, they're not sales savvy. Yes, they might be recruiters, or they might recruit, or the people trust them, and a circle of trust or something. And that's rather than to get people other than them, they try to tap into their market, because if he's not good, they're going to tap in somebody that he knows might be good, right? So you might know a guy that's in the financial field, or you might know a guy that is a little bit more friends or more active in the community. So they try to tap into those people by bringing somebody in. So it's mostly recruiting. Their structure is surrounded in that recruiting area. In the sales, they focus very little, because every meeting that they have, every instance is about recruiting. How many did you recruit? If you get promoted, their structure is promotions, is structured towards recruiting. You cannot make promotions with just numbers. If you do, it's about, let's say, for example, if it's 60,000 points with recruiting, you'll be around about 190, 170, 180 in 3 months, right? Instead of 60 in 3 months. So what do? Is they want to force you to recruit, to build, to get to that point, right? good and bad, because now you're only recruiting, then you have nothing else left because you're not selling. And then these people quit and go and come back. None of them stay. And then what happens is when you're recruiting and you don't even have your licenses and you're new, guess who's the recruits working with? Your upline. So upline is making money on you and your recruits while you're getting licensed. So they try to get you to that point and say, listen, this is how you do it to the others. You, when you recruit, you get to the 10 markets, that's how you sell. And, when I join in and I say, listen, how do you guys sell? How do you get your clients, right? And I wanted to have an idea how to sell because I came from sales. And they said, well, you know what? You can just go out there and find your own clients, which is harder. But then what you can do is you can recruit people. And then these people will have 10 people. And then you can go sit down with those 10 people. And then if you recruit people, then you can go to the same thing. And then blah, 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 and it goes on. So this is their structure, is recruiting somebody, getting into the 10 market, and then trying to find recruits in that they can repeat the process. So they repeat the process. Recruit, tap into their markets. Whatever happens to that person, they don't care. Honestly, that's why a lot of times, and I will show you how much they make, and this is ridiculous, and how much time they will spend. And this is true because I've seen this so many times I will say in the 7 years I was there, I've probably seen over 1,000 people go out of the business, and we tapped into their markets before they did, because these people were not they were not going to survive. They're not savvy. You will not hire them if you are a bank. You will not hire if you are in a financial institution. You will not hire in a serious business zone, right? In the financial field. Let's say if it's a financial planner position, these people will not even get hired at all, not even have a chance, zero chance of getting hired to do someone's financials. And of course, when you join in, they say, hey, if you want to be selling and if you want to be sitting with these clients, if you don't have the product, how are you going to approach these clients? And this is how they sold these products. This is how their structure is recruit, sell to these recruits, sell to their families recruits, and then recruit some more. Because what happened was when I sat down with a person he introduced, this is the same exact way it went every single time. After pitching the numbers, and sometimes we'll say, oh, do you wonder how, he's doing this as a new business. Do you wonder how much he made? Do you know how much you made without touching your money? So imagine like you go into the clients and you told them how much you made. The reason why you do that is to recruit, right? And you know that this person is going to be recruited, and you want that person in your organization because you need to recruit to get promoted, right? So basically what happened was you talk to this person and say, oh, by the way, we're looking for individuals. You're really a nice person. But, honestly, 99% of these people, I will not hire them at this moment to be in my organization. 99.9% of them will not make it because they're not going to produce. They're going to waste my time. We look at people that can produce, number one, because we want them to make money. Because if they don't make money, we don't make money. And if they're not making money, why are you in the business? Why am I going to spend time, or why am I going to waste your time? If you cannot make it, don't do it. But these people, imagine me hiring somebody to steal their business or to steal a business from their parents or this and this. That's not the business structure I want to be in. This is what they do. This is what their system is. Get them, recruit them, get their people as fast as you can, get them out. Same thing. It was just a factory. I swear to God, it was just like it's a production line. It goes in from one end, it gets out the other end, and they just take everything that you have. And then once you're done, you already signed up. Your parents have signed up. Your family has signed up. Now, they made all the money. Your uplines make money. Don't get me wrong. People do make money. Okay, and when we talk about the money structure, you'll see how much they make money and versus how much you can make money doing it on an independent side and working in an independent agency and expanding your career in a more expert way than just being a recruiter. This is a great job for recruiters. Other than that, it's just a machine, a factory of recruiting that's based on commission only. They don't lose money; they gain money by training you and to recruit. And that's the most vital part of this companies is recruit, take their hot market, repeat. Recruit, take their top 10, recruit. So it just goes on and on and on. Of course, there's conventions, there's this, they make all these things. It's all about how much they can monetize and how much they can earn on your emotions. And of course, they build that relationship that you think your friends and your family and so on and so forth, that a lot of people are afraid to leave. Not afraid to leave, but they can't leave because they have built those relationships. They don't want to break it. Once you break that relationship, oh my God, they're like, I don't know, those churches that you stop or you go against and they basically excommunicate you. It's almost the same way in these companies as well. So that's about the structure. And on the next video, I'm going to talk about how they make money. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe and comment and like our videos. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.